I mean, the details of which we have only scratched the surface are so disturbing. How was this able to go on for so long?
Alarming allegations against the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch. Mike Jeffries was arrested in West Palm Beach.
Tonight, the former chief executive of one of the world's most recognizable clothing retailers is under arrest, accused of operating an international trafficking and prostitution business.
I thought that I was being given Abercrombie clothes to go into an Abercrombie interview, and it was not the interview I expected. And it was the darkest experience of my life.
There are so many similarities between Epstein, Combs, and now this Abercrombie case.
Former chief of the Brooklyn DA's sex trafficking unit, Lauren Hirsch, is now the director of World Without Exploitation.
For far too long, powerful people have been operating with complete impunity. And I think this is the moment where the tide is changing.
Harvey Weinstein has been diagnosed with a form of bone marrow cancer. Sources say the disgraced movie mogul is being treated for chronic myeloid leukemia. He'll receive his treatments while he's in jail at Rikers Island.
Sources told the network that Weinstein has chronic myeloid leukemia, an uncommon form of cancer starting in the bone marrow that can turn acute if not treated quickly.
Sources say the 72-year-old is undergoing treatment at Rikers Island in New York. This is just the latest health issue for the once powerful movie producer. Last month, he underwent emergency heart surgery. It's not clear how that diagnosis will impact his upcoming retrial for criminal sexual assault.
Jeffries, who stepped down from Abercrombie in 2014, is accused by law enforcement of using his power and wealth to traffic and exploit more than a dozen young men around the world, many of them aspiring models.
Is one of 3 men facing charges in the case. Details of the abuse even stunning career law enforcement tonight.
Prosecutors claim the former CEO and other defendants sold aspiring models the dream of success at the price of their compliance. They allegedly made young men sign NDAs and injected them with drugs. The FBI calls this case another example of the wealthy using their power to control the vulnerable.
All of this comes as allegations of sexual abuse have speeding into the music world. As we've reported, Sean Diddy Combs faces lawsuits from 7 new accusers just this week.
Now to Sean Diddy Combs. The music mogul is facing a series of new civil lawsuits, including allegations he assaulted 2 teenagers.
This new batch of civil lawsuits accuses Sean Combs of drugging and assaulting 7 more alleged victims. One of them says she was 13 at the time and certain celebrities were there watching. This morning, a new civil lawsuit alleges Sean Diddy Combs assaulted a then 13-year-old girl after the VMAs in the year 2000. Combs attended the award show with his then girlfriend, Jennifer Lopez. The lawsuit says Diddy's driver invited the alleged victim to an after-party, telling her Combs liked young girls and saying she fit what Diddy was looking for. At the party, the lawsuit says the teen accepted a drink and went to lie down, feeling woozy and lightheaded. Combs allegedly grabbed the teen, saying, "You are ready to party." The new civil lawsuits accuse Combs of sexual assaults over more than 2 decades, from 2000 to 2022.
Prosecutors allege the men routinely trafficked aspiring male models between 2008 and 2015, while Jeffries was running one of the most popular clothing brands of its time.
The defendants allegedly preyed on the hopes and dreams of their victims by exploiting, abusing, and silencing them to fulfill their own desires.
This 16-count indictment alleges the 3 defendants recruited and transported dozens of young men to parties at Jeffries' home in the Hamptons and hotels around the world, where they provided alcohol, muscle relaxants known as poppers, and when they did not consent, allegedly subjected the young men to invasive and violent sexual contact.
They spent millions of dollars on a massive infrastructure to support this operation and maintain its secrecy.
Prosecutors say Jeffries ran this secret sex trafficking ring for nearly 7 years. This indictment involves 15 unnamed men, but the investigation continues and more victims could come forward.
To anyone who thinks they can exploit and coerce others by using the so-called casting couch system, this case should serve as a warning. Prepare to trade that couch for a bed in federal prison.
Former model Barrett Paul says in 2011 he was flown from L.A. to a party at Jeffries' estate in the Hamptons.
I was told that there could be some things that were not your normal interview. However, this is your chance.
So this all began with a documentary and podcast series that we released in October last year called The Abercrombie Guys. Several men came forward to say that Mike Jeffries had abused them at events he hosted around the world in major cities like London, New York, Venice, and Marrakesh. We also found that Jeffries and his British partner, Matthew Smith, were at the centre of a highly organised operation involving a middleman named James Jacobson, who today was also arrested. And now these were really, really elaborate events. I spoke with a man just last month who told me that back in 2011, he was recruited for a photo shoot in Spain. And when he got there, it wasn't a photo shoot at all. Instead, Mike Jeffries had transformed an entire presidential suite of a hotel room into a literal Abercrombie store. He said it was like a movie set.
The charging documents describe in graphic and disturbing detail the violent and exploitive acts these defendants perpetrated, for which they will now face justice.
So it's jaw-dropping and shocking in every twist and turn of this case. We've seen R. Kelly go down on similar charges, and in the Southern District of New York, Sean Combs is facing the exact same charges.
When I saw the charges come down, I said perhaps this is a continuation of the reckoning that I think we are starting to see in this world of arts and entertainment moving forward.
Yeah, Juwan, this case is all about powerful men allegedly using their positions to exploit others.
A decade later, Jeffries, once one of the most influential CEOs in the country, now charged with crimes that, if proven, could put him in prison for life.
This, what feels like an evil villain, continued to use his power to harm a lot of people. And I don't think he feels bad about it.
This is a story about young men who had dreams to be models, dreams to make it in the fashion and entertainment industry. Too often I have heard that those dreams get crushed by predatory agents, moguls, and today we're seeing the ramifications of some of these allegations of people being heard. But really, this is a story about men speaking out, men feeling heard. So rarely do we hear allegations from men. So rarely do we hear men be vulnerable in this way. So I would really encourage people to go and listen to the podcast, to listen to their stories in their own words, and really, really reflect on what they say and the impact that this had on them.